Hi, and welcome to Mid-American Gardener. I'm Sandy Mason with the University of Illinois Extension as the State Master Gardener Coordinator, and I am so glad you've decided to join us. Well, I know I'm excited about spring, and I love talking to gardeners this time of year because we're always so optimistic. Maybe you're thinking about what are you going to plant this year, and you're really trying to figure out what you're going to order through the catalogs. Well, we're here to help you out. So why don't you go ahead and give us a call, and we'll see what we can do. But at first, we're going to go ahead and introduce our panelists who I know are always very optimistic about gardening. How about you, Chuck?
Sure. Let's go with that. I am Chuck Voigt, and I was a vegetable and herb specialist with the Crop Sciences Department here on campus. I'm retired now, which gives me more time to play in the garden. My question tonight is about spring herb planting, which fits right in with what you were saying. Kate asks, she'd like to plant some herbs in her vegetable garden, and she wants to know if rosemary, cilantro, basil, and thyme would work in Zone 5, which a lot of Mid-America is, and when's the best time to plant them? Well, I think in terms of if you think a little timing, all of those things can be grown here. Thyme is the most cold hardy. So if you can find started thyme plants, you could put those out probably as early as early April around here and probably get by with that. Rosemary, fairly cold hardy, but not as cold hardy, especially when it's just freshly planted. So I would probably wait till maybe late April in Zone 5 to do that. Cilantro needs to get started, plant the seeds pretty early in spring, like early April. And then maybe you can get some leaf harvest from it. It's going to go to seed as the days get longer, so it's a very short window in spring. If you save some of the seeds that develop into coriander, well, you can use them as coriander, but you can also plant them in August, and then they'll come up in the fall. And in the short days of fall, they'll stay leafy a long time. So you have kind of a short spring season and a longer fall season for cilantro. And basil is a heat lover. Don't put basil plants out really until Memorial Day throughout most of Zone 5, and then probably about Labor Day on the other end is when they start to decline. So you have about a 3-month window when basil does really well here. And I almost guarantee that in early March you'll see basil seedlings in the garden centers, but if you plant those, you're probably going to have to buy them and plant them again. So just wait till closer to the end of May and enjoy it while it's having its brief reign of glory and go it that way. But all those things are possible, just you have to know a little bit about what you're doing.
So it is one of those things where you really need to do maybe a little bit of homework. Maybe call your local extension office or talk to the master gardeners for your area when to plant, because some of them are annual, some of them are perennial, some of them you start from seeds. Some of them, it's hard. Even though they're all herbs, we kind of treat them differently.
Right.
So that's probably a big thing.
And Zone 5 encompasses a lot of territory. So
right.
Some of it's almost Zone 6 and some of it's almost Zone 4. So
that's the beauty of gardening. We're always learning.
It all depends.
It all depends. Okay, very good. And Marianne.
Good evening, I'm Marianne Metz, and I am a horticulturalist, landscape designer, and definitely a gardener, living in anticipation of gardening this year. I cannot wait. I have a question from Ron in St. Charles. The city has installed a crabapple tree on the curb in front of the street in front of his house, and about 4 years ago. It seems to have some type of scale or fungus, and the photo that he sent really does indicate some kind of a scaly looking creature on the branches of his tree, which I think are kind of pretty, but not everybody appreciates that kind of nature. But actually I want him to know that not to worry. This is actually a lichen, which is not a genus of itself, but it's a symbiotic relationship between fungus and algae, and they can't live apart. They have to have each other to live. They're not taking anything from the tree, so they're not harming the tree. And think of it as beauty spots. It's kind of a nice thing, and actually as a healthy environment. With the canopy open and enough sun coming into the branches, the lichen's going to grow. So that's a good thing. And it's on the street. So there's going to be pollution, but there's apparently not a lot of pollution because lichen will not grow where there's pollution. So all good news.
And we often see it on crab apples, so that's one
Absolutely.
thing. And I will say, sometimes you'll see the lichens on dead branches, and people
Yes.
automatically assume the
Think
lichen
that's what
somehow
happens.
killed the dead branch. But
Exactly.
that wasn't the reason why the branch died.
No,
so I
that's
think
exactly
sometimes
right.
it's very confusing when
It was
people
probably
see
there
dead
before
branches.
the branch died.
Right.
Yeah,
it was probably there
absolutely.
before the branch died. So anyway, so
Yep.
very good. So good question. Thank you very much, Marianne. And John.
I'm John Bodensteiner. I'm a Vermilion County Master Gardener, and I'm from Bismarck, Illinois. I like hostas because I've got mostly shade in my yard now, and I have a lot of perennials, trees, shrubs. Sandy got me into a lot of shrubs, and vegetables and tomatoes. But tonight I've got actually one of the questions on hostas. We have planted a lot of hostas on the east side of the white brick house. In the summer, it gets extremely hot, and the hostas get very brown and scorched looking. Is it too hot for them and should be transplanted somewhere else? Probably. The white house was the first thing. White reflects, so the heat and the light. So that's going to make it worse than dark toned wood, or east side is better than the west side or on the south side, because at least it's probably only getting the morning, maybe a little bit of the afternoon sun. But hostas like moisture, and being they're brown and scorched kind of gives me an indication that if it was just the light, they would be faded and wilty and things like that. But being scorched and brown, that indicates to me that they're probably not getting enough moisture, because they do require it. But if you do want, I would probably move them, because if you have a shady area, they'll probably do much, much better on a shady area. And there are varieties that do like sun that they've come out with, and you might want to look into them and put those there and transplant these into a shady area.
Okay, very good. And it is one of those kind of right plant, right place. And the good news about springtime, it's a great time to move plants.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Absolutely.
they weren't doing well, then move them somewhere else where you think they're going to do better. Oh, thank you very much, John. And I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast, they really are a lot of fun. Diane Nolan did one, Mike Brunk did one, and guess what? I'm going to be doing the next one. So if you have any questions for me for the podcast, remember you can leave questions on our Facebook page, you can email us, you can also leave a voicemail for our podcast, and that's at 217-300-8224, and that's for questions you might have for the podcast. And so come up with something that you think you'd like me to talk about, because I would love to see what kinds of things you might have interest in. I know otherwise Victoria and I are just going to talk about gardening stuff that we want to talk about, so give us your questions. But you can go ahead and call us, of course, for tonight's show, and that number is 217-333-3495. So you're certainly welcome to give us some calls for tonight. And we do have a caller online too, Steve from Bloomington. Looks like you have some question about herbs, Steve.
I do, Sandy. I've seen the podcast that you were just talking about, and they were awesome.
Oh, great, thanks.
Right.
But what I would like to ask you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything, but if you could be a herb, what would it be and why?
And why? What
Yeah.
would you be? Oh, good question.
It is good.
Personally, I would probably be rosemary, because I love that kind of evergreen, smell that it has. I love cooking with
invigorating
it.
in
So
the
it's a
night.
wonderful smell. Yeah, very invigorating smell. It's sometimes a little bit of challenge to sort of keep it growing through the winter time. But I have it indoors as an indoor plant, and it's the one plant the cats don't mess with, because I think it's so aromatic they don't mess with it. So how about
Interesting.
you guys? Any other
I like
favorite herb?
Mine is summer savory.
What would you be? Summer savory? Oh.
It's one that I grew up. We grow it. We put it in a lot of our sausages. I grew up in a German family, and we use it in a lot of our sausages. And the French use it a lot in their bean dishes, and so I've gotten to incorporate those into bean dishes. But there's summer savory, which is an annual, and then there's winter savory, which is a perennial. The winter savory isn't quite as strong as the summer savory, but then you don't have to plant it every year either, and it's always available, and so that's one of my
Okay,
favorites.
so what would you be?
Oh,
You were
basil, definitely.
Oh, basil, that's a good choice.
I plant basil all over my yard. I don't cook. That's, I'm sorry.
So it's just
But
for pretty?
Basil.
You don't cook, you look.
No, I look. Yeah. No, I love walking by it and brushing it. I'll
So
put it
basil's
along
nice.
pathways and in the pots. containers, mixed containers on my patio, so everyone can smell it. I just love the
And
fragrance
there's
of it.
beautiful ones now.
Oh, there's some
Real
gorgeous
small leaves, purple leaves,
little dwarfs that you could line a bed
basils.
with. There's
Yeah.
just a lot in the
Oh yeah,
market
that's
now.
a nice variety.
Yeah.
Nice variety.
Yeah.
And you, Chuck?
Well, I wrote a thesis on propagating French tarragon, so I'm going to go with French tarragon.
Gotta do it.
And it gives me an opportunity to warn people again that you're not going to find French tarragon seeds. It's incapable of making seeds. And sometimes they label them Russian tarragon. Sometimes they label them French tarragon, but it's never correct. You need to buy a started plant and one that's propagated vegetatively.
A French tarragon. Oh, I love that. Is a good one too. I like
It's
it.
a sterile chromosomal derivative if you're into science.
Thank you.
Wow. We won't ask you to
The
delve into that too
chromosomes
much
can't
more.
match up to make seeds.
Thanks.
Oh, learn something new. And, okay, very good. Thank you very much, Steve. That was kind of fun. And on line 4, we have Jean. And it looks like maybe you're having some problems with tomatoes, Jean.
Actually, can you hear me there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, actually, I have a suggestion for people who do have problems with diseases on their
Oh,
tomatoes.
okay.
Because I tried this myself. I put a old T-shirt around the base of the tomato plant after I put my tomato cages on in order to keep the weeds down. And what it did, actually, in the last 2 years, I've had no problem at all with disease flashing up on my tomatoes or anything.
Oh. So
And
just,
I think it must dry out or something and help keep it from getting too moist or something. But it really works very well. And I just
So-
wanted to share that with all the other viewers.
okay, like a cotton T-shirt, like around your
Yep.
plants?
Nice.
Good
Just that little
recycling.
T-shirt.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
it would keep the spores from splashing
From
up on the
splashing,
lower
yeah.
leaves,
Yeah.
because that's typically what happens. They get on
Exactly.
the lower leaves and then they climb the plant like a ladder.
Yep.
Oh, very good. Well, good idea, Jean. And I love recycling in the garden. And you could have just your whatever T-shirts you just can't stand to throw away or whatever, and you want to see them one last time. Put them in the garden. I like that, Jean. Thank you very much.
That's great.
And on line 5 we have John. And sounds like you have a question about maybe tapping maple trees. So John from Decatur.
Yeah, I had a question. We got a maple tree in the front yard, and is there a certain type of maple tree that you can tap for syrup or any kind?
Okay. Tapping
can
maple trees.
Tap any of them. I just got done tapping mine. I have a sugar maple and then I have a softwood maple. I even have a silver maple and I got some sap out of that. The problem is the sugar maples will give you a lot more sugar in those, per ounce. So for sugar maples, you need 40 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup. Soft maples, the other types of maples, 50 gallons of
Wow.
sap to make a gallon of syrup.
That's a
so,
lot.
so it takes, but it's really nice. You boil it down in the house, and all of a sudden your house, during the winter, your house is dry, and you start cooking your maple syrup
Sure.
down, and it makes you feel better.
Sure.
You don't touch somebody, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
That's great.
I would think you wouldn't want to do Norway maple because it has milky sap, but
oh yeah, no,
Right.
yeah.
So probably typically around here it would probably be like silvers or sugars. Sugars because you get
Soft,
more sugar
hardwood,
content.
any of
sugar would be number one.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
a
number
But
long
one.
probably
way.
silver would be the other one.
Silver,
Probably be right up
maybe
there.
red,
I've
maybe even box elder, but
Yes, you can do box elder. I even black walnut. There's,
Oh,
I
interesting,
tried
yeah.
that this year. I haven't got it boiled down yet.
Yeah.
But I've heard that it's different.
Black
so-
walnut syrup? I've never heard of that one.
I don't know which birch, but there's birch syrup that they make as well.
Oh,
Wow, that's
Interesting.
a whole new category of things to do in the wintertime. So,
Yeah.
hey, good question. Thank you very much.
And they're just about they're just about done because if you look at the trees, if you've got little red tips on them, you're probably not going to get too much sap
Right,
running.
so it has to be, kind of during that time period. Good question. I'm glad you asked that. And on line 3, we have Steve from Decatur, and you have a question about starting sassafras trees. What can we do for you, Steve?
Yes, ma'am. I'm wanting to plant a sassafras tree in my backyard as kind of a specimen tree, but I don't know how to go about it. And I've read that they have a long tap root, so I don't know if I could do root propagation or. I was wanting to ask you how I would do that.
Okay,
Well,
super.
yeah, when you get a sassafras tree, typically they'll root in and then they'll do horizontal thick roots, and then every so often they'll throw up another shoot, so that you end up with a whole group of plants that are genetically the same from that one. you can kind of dig one of those up and try to do it. I've had some success with that. Best to do it early on before the leaves come on, because once they have leaves, there's just too much stress on them. And then you're probably not going to have a lot of success, but you might have enough so that you have a tree. If you want to punt, they have container plants at nurseries now that you can buy a sassafras tree that way. That's the surest way to get one. But I think theoretically you could dig up a piece of root and root it and get that to sprout. Would be better if you treated it with some sprout inducer, but
And get a long bag, those bag.
So how big a seedling are you or how big a shoot, I should say, not a seedling, would you think to dig up? Is it better to do some of the smaller ones, I'm thinking?
I would say if you're trying to dig them up from a wild stand
Right.
of them in a fence row or whatever, an inch or under.
Yeah, so smaller ones are probably better.
Yeah, definitely.
3/8 to a half an inch would probably be even
So
better.
this would be a good time to do it. Well,
Right.
this would be great.
If you know which
Good
ones
spring.
they are
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't,
at this time.
Yeah, great
don't do
native
poison
tree.
ivy that's growing next door.
Yeah, great native tree. And you can always smell the. You can always
smell the root.
Smell it. You can smell that wonderful sassafras smell. So great idea. Okay, and on line 2 we have Paulette from Urbana, and you have a question about cherry trees. I guess it's not doing well or not fruiting well for you, Paulette.
Yes, thank you for taking this call.
Sure.
I have 2 trees. One's about 8 years old and the other 5. And my big crop was maybe 4 cherries on one of his trees.
Woohoo!
And I'm hoping that there's something that I'm doing wrong that you could tell me, and then maybe this year I'll be luckier.
Are
Okay.
they flowering?
They appear
first
to be
thing?
quite healthy.
So are they flowering? Do they seem like they're flowering well
Oh,
for you?
yes.
Okay.
I have
So they're
a lot
flowering,
of flowers.
but not getting any fruit.
And are they tart cherries or are they sweet cherries?
Tart.
Like a
One's a red sour, and the other's a yellow. But it's not a Queen Anne. It's not that type. It's like a yellow cherry that's a sour cherry.
Wow.
So
I don't think I've ever seen a yellow tart cherry.
There's a lot of new things in the market.
So you'd wonder if it's flowering. So we'd wonder about things like proper pollination.
Pollination would be the
Would
first
probably
issue,
be
I
the-
think.
And most of those are, I think, self-pollinating.
Yeah. So that shouldn't be.
So-
The tart cherries are self.
You'd still want some bee activity.
You want, and being she got
activity.
4, it might be that there is no other. The other cherry tree may not be crossed, because you usually get better
Oh, definitely. Better crops from.
crops if you do get some cross pollination. You don't
Yeah,
need it,
definitely.
but you get a lot more. But 4 is very.
Yeah, you'd
I would
still
think the pollinator would be maybe the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Whether there's something pollinating, and maybe there's some kind of chemical drift from something close around that's keeping pollinators away.
You're not fertilizing, are you? That's one thing I wouldn't do too. Is,
Yeah, make sure you don't
is
over-fertilize.
over-fertilize with, especially with nitrogen. Then you will have beautiful trees, and they won't set fruit because they just don't think they need it.
Okay. And so the big thing is with the tart cherries, we probably have better success usually with tart cherries than we have with the sweet cherries, just because of the problems with hardiness of the flowers themselves and stuff. So that would be one thing to keep
And
in
that's
mind.
another thing. The last couple of years, we've had nice spring flowers, and all of a sudden, a hard frost, and that just wiped some of the crops out.
So it could be you may not be doing anything wrong. That's the
Yeah.
bottom line. Wait
Just
for
be
better
patient.
weather. Wait for better. Okay, and on line 6 we have Peggy from Champaign, and you have a question about, sounds like a philodendron. It's been around for a while.
Yes, simple house plant that I've had for 38 years, and
wow.
used to take better care of it than I have lately. I'm living in a small apartment in a senior residence, and it's gotten cold, and it's hasn't had the right amount of light. So it has 3 or 4 very long stems with no leaves on them now, and then at the end there are lots and lots of leaves. And I think it probably needs to be repotted with new dirt, but I don't know what to do with the long stems. I don't want to cut them because the roots are at one end.
Is this a
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it sounds like the
Fine.
vining philodendron. I'd say go for it.
I'd say cut the ends off
Absolutely,
and
prune
and get them planted, and don't cut the others off until you're sure that the new plant is growing, because you always could maybe take another cutting, even though there's no leaves. Sometimes you can force them to.
Yeah, and the beauty of the philodendron is that usually you can see like the little baby roots. So
Yeah.
it's like it's trying
yeah.
to root, and so it's real easy to tell where the
Yeah,
roots are going to
they're
come out.
easy
So
to
you
propagate.
might be really surprised on how very easy they are to propagate.
Yes,
So
and repotting won't hurt it by any means, and freshening up the soil, maybe a tad bit of fertilizer now when things are starting to actively grow again with a little more
so
sunlight.
I'd cut off the ends, start them, go from there. So great. Hopefully that helps you out. And on line 3, we have Jan from Jacksonville. And how about some sweet potatoes? It sounds like a wonderful thing, Jan. You have some-
Hi.
Hi.
My question is raising sweet potatoes as food product. I know they like to have lots of room to spread out, but can you terrace or raise those on a trellis or some way to reduce the amount of space they take up?
Oh, good question. So sweet potatoes, space.
I think yes. I've never tried that, but I think if you can get them trained on it,
yeah.
they're not, although they're vining, they're not naturally climbing.
Right.
So you would have to use wire or something that has small enough holes so that it holds them out, like chicken wire or something.
And
As-
train
Exactly.
them, actually tie them. You know.
Yeah, and if, I think the more of them that you get on the wires, the more it's going to hold the others in there as
right.
well. You don't want to do them like vertically so that they shade each other out. I don't think.
Right.
Maybe like a 45-degree angle or something, if you could do it that way. And then if you find that you can do variety selection, there are some that are much more compact. Unfortunately, the bush Puerto Rico is one of the worst ones I've ever tried to grow. Beauregard, which is a very long vining one, is almost foolproof here. And
That's one I grow.
Yeah,
It's
Beauregard.
and does well. So I think the answer to your question is yes, you can do that. It may take quite a bit of work to get it started that way, but
And I just grow mine in raised beds, and they just flow over the raised
Exactly.
bed and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
into
Exactly.
the rows and everything else, or into the paths and everything else. But that's fine. It's
Yeah.
still so it's and it's a 4x8 raised bed, and they seem to do very well
But
there.
how pretty would that be, crawling up a kind of an
Yeah.
angled trellis? I think that would be
Yeah,
a really
good
good
idea.
look.
well, yeah,
Space
some of them
conserving.
are really attractive.
Yeah, I
Kind
love
of a
sweet
purplish
potatoes.
undercolor.
They
Very
like
space
the heat,
conserving,
though.
yeah.
Sweet potatoes
Nice.
love the heat. Okay, very good. And on line 2, we have Steve from Effingham, and you have a question. Sounds like about white pine trees. What can we do for you, Steve? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have probably 8 or 9 of them, range from 2 to 4 foot, and a couple of them about maybe 15 or 12 to 15 foot tall, and they seem to all died this year.
Uh-oh. White pine's dying.
And I got one's probably 50 foot tall, and I wonder if it's in danger of dying.
There's a lot of reasons they could die.
The season, the bad summers, hot, dry.
We've had a couple of seasons that have been pow, pow, pow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's been
Drought, there are fungal issues that it could be, but I'm going to go with drought. It's
Yeah.
one of the biggest causes for white pines to succumb so quickly.
your biggest one is probably okay, being it's been a chance to get its roots down.
Down further, yeah.
Bigger, so. But if there's any life, I
Right.
would probably just make sure if there's any life at all left, that you really water them during dry periods.
Yeah.
One of the essential things is watering really well before you go into the winter. But evergreens that have moisture in them, as we get colder, will survive much better, especially in a cold winter like we've just had.
Okay, some tough environmental issues. And on line 4, we have Sean from Springfield. Do you have a quick question for us about, sounds like planting different fertilizers maybe for vegetables?
Yeah, I was just wondering, especially this time of year, if it's too early to start, applying that fertilizer or utilizing any fertilizers. And then also, this may sound a little weird, but is it okay to use my dog poo as fertilizer?
Second question first. No, don't use dog poo.
Or any pets,
Dog
any
poo-
carnivores.
Dog poo, cat
Cats,
poo,
yeah.
particularly. Fertilizer, I'd say it's still a little early
Yes.
because we're going to get spring rains and things are going to run off, especially if the soil freezes again.
Yeah, you're just putting money down for
Right.
nothing.
Right, and you're not able to incorporate it because it's too muddy. So I would wait until the soil dries out and you can start working with it. apply it, work it in so that it's protected. Because the other thing that happens if it gets overly wet is the nitrogen denitrifies and just goes
Okay.
back into
Yeah.
the
Okay,
air.
very good.
The
Okay,
one thing I
thank you
would
all
use-
very
the-
much. And yeah, sorry, we're running out of time. I thank you all very much, and lots of good questions. And remember, you can always email us at yourgarden@gmail.com. Go to our Facebook page, and certainly if you have any questions for me for the podcast, make sure that you send those in as well, and we'll have a great week gardening. And this has always been an exciting time, I think, to think about spring and gardening, and I know you have lots of questions, so make sure you send those in, and we'll make sure that we either handle them on the show or through our podcast. So have a great week gardening. I know I'm looking forward to it.